I've drunk so much coffee, I feel like I'm going to be sick. So, I gotta keep on yapping, or otherwise, fucking all over the screen about to happen in a second. What was I talking about? Yeah, I was talking about motherfucking, internet's a weird place, you know. I realized I was scrolling down. There's a billion different like 4 hour YouTube videos on why this random game is the best thing you've ever played. Um, and I realized like while looking at it, I was like, oh my god, dude, it doesn't matter what fucking shit piece of media you put out there. There's gonna be some fucking grown ass man that's gonna come online and spend 4 hours, fucking 5 days, however long it takes to make these videos, describing it as the best piece of media ever. There is always going to be an astronomical bumlicker out there that is going to shill your product harder than you ever could, you know? Like, I love Dark Souls as much as the next person. However, I do think the way the internet treats it is slightly strange. The way that people have kind of tried to like ascend it to this like godhood status. You see the same thing with like other similar games, like like Undertale, XYZ. Like you can say those things are good, undeniably. Like I'd say a lot of those products I just mentioned, good products, right? Um, but maybe not 6 hours worth of like just cocksucking goods. I wouldn't fucking get up here and do like a 6 hour video on how if you don't agree with me and like my random favorite piece of media. What's a children's TV show? Because they get a lot of this. Children's TV shows, there's always some like grown ass adult who has not undergone like basic parts of life where they're like, oh my god, kids show is about empathy, therefore it's the best thing ever. You see that a worrying amount, and it's like, come on, bro, come on. Let me get some fucking light in here, dude. It's like, ah, ah. It's motherfucking 10 in the morning now. We ain't sleeping. Um, what was I talking about? What the fuck was I talking about? Yeah, weird internet nichezins, nichezins. What you know the words. I don't know. I actually don't know what the fuck it means, but it's like nichezen. It's all about like I think it means to depress people or something. I can't lie. Um, but yeah. Um, but there's too many of them online, like you see this kind of shit way too fucking much. All these people that come out of the woodworks, and it doesn't like I to the point where there are definitely bad pieces of media I have seen online, like objectively, like I can't, I guess nothing online, like nothing, no piece of media is objectively bad in that way, but there are definitely pieces of media I have seen normally through those videos online, because I get those recommended a lot, where it's someone describing it as the greatest thing ever, and then you go look at it and it's just not that good. It's just maybe a bit boring. The person making the video has developed an idea of what the product is that is infinitely better than what the product actually is to go and experience. I would say Dark Souls is a very good example of that. Not in the quality regard, but the idea of Dark Souls that a lot of those videos develop is quite different to the experience of playing Dark Souls. Like of actually, going through an experience like playing the game. I remember I watched a Dark Souls video before I played it, and it made the whole thing seem like it was going to be very mysterious and all this kind of stuff. And although that aspect is within the game, and it's like kind of shrouded in mystery, a lot of the game was spelled out to you a lot more than I expected. Like if you just weren't oblivious, the game would spell out a lot of its like story beats and like hidden lore pretty obviously. Like it just took a couple seconds of reading, and it would normally be like relatively blatant, whether or not it was in the game design or whatever. But the way YouTube videos seem to make it seem, they genuinely seem to make it seem like it's like some detective level. You've got to uncover and like figure. And it's no, you fucking don't. You know. The same goes for like I don't know. I keep on seeing these fucking like crazy videos on like Adventure Time and shit about how it's like the deepest show on the planet and it's actually super important. Maybe if you're a man child who has never grown up, yeah, the show where they're like, learn empathy is gonna be an absolute banger to you, in the same way that motherfuckers who do mushrooms, and they figure that shit out. It's the exact same thing. It's ridiculous. Um, but I think people are getting way too good at this. They're getting way too good at shilling the idea of something far more than the product is actually worth. Um, I mean, obviously, because there's like there's a media incentive to do that on YouTube and stuff because your video is what generates you money. It doesn't matter how good the product is that you're reviewing or talking about. The quality of your video and how engaging your video is obviously going to get you money. So you're incentivized to blow it up and make it the most impressive thing ever. But I do think a consequence of this is, I think this is slightly where you see problems on the internet arise. Like you've seen people talk about bullshit words, bullshit, 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 spewing bullshit, bullshit. Uh, you've seen this online where like you do see a lot of people who are like they they cannot take any criticism of their favorite shit. You know, their favorite shit is infallible. It is the best thing. It is God, God's gift to this earth. If you don't like, I don't know, I'm just gonna use fucking Undertale as an example because Undertale had a really big problem with this when it came out. Undertale, it was the greatest thing ever. If you had any problems with Undertale, even if it was incredibly mild, people fucking hated you from that, like, that group. Fandoms, worst thing to ever happen on the internet. Every time someone says they're a part of fandom, kill them immediately on site. Actually, just like, you're doing the world a favor if you immediately murder that person on site. Probably the best thing or greatest thing you could ever do. You ever hear the words "I'm part of a fandom" come out of someone's mouth? Six cylinder, just fucking actually obliterate them and their skull. Like, mate, they're probably more worthwhile as dog food than they are as an actual person, because I don't think anyone who self-subscribes to a fandom is that, mentally intelligent. I think, an IQ of 80 is high for anyone of that breed. But you do see that problem a lot where you can't criticize their media at all, as they just fucking lose their minds. And you do look at it, and it's strange. It's a bizarre thought process to have at times, because the idea that everyone must like what I like is just it's just a dumb one. Anyone who's, stepped foot outside their home understands that that's dumb as fuck. People hate everything. Someone's gonna find a reason to hate absolutely everything. It doesn't matter how objectively good you think something is. Motherfuckers are gonna hate it. There's gonna be some fat lardo out there that's like, no, it's actually the worst. It's the worst thing ever, and you should kill yourself for liking it. And they're as equally as correct as you are for liking that product. Nothing is objective. In that sense. Music elitists, thumbs down, music elitists. Motherfuckers will sit there and listen to like Deftones, or I don't know, what's like an annoying other band. Any really like sad, depressing, like slightly emo rocky stuff. Blow that motherfucker's brains out, 12 gauge to the chin, just get rid of them. Like, bro, I don't give a fuck, man. Any of that shit, shoegaze, kill all shoegaze fans, murder all shoegaze fans. I like it sometimes makes me wonder, like, how much bullshit can you spread online? Like, could you just fabricate an entire personality and like give it so many layers and stuff that people believe it's true for like deep enough that you could just actually create like a bullshit persona? It's me, Mr. Bullshit Citizen. It wouldn't surprise me. I think a lot of people online have already done that. Anyway, to avoid my fucking schizo ass rants going too off topic, what the hell was I talking about? Something to do with like internet, just like brainlets. Yeah. Moist critical fans, eliminate those people, bro. I actually blow their brains out. There's no way you're a moist critical fan, unironically. There's no way you sit down and you go, "Oh, Moist Critical has uploaded. I can't wait. I can't wait to watch a Moist Critical episode." And he just sits there, just like in a fucking clean room, just like, pussy shit fart. Oh my god, the balls on this guy to say that crazy thing online. Nobody cares, bro. You're an internet drama channel. Nobody fucking cares. Genuinely dire. Sorry, I've got this really disturbing. I've got YouTube open, and I've just got this really disturbing fucking thumbnail of Ben Shapiro with like in a dark room staring at me. It's kind of off-putting and creepy. I'm gonna scroll down so I can't see that. What other bullshit can I talk about? Furries. Thumbs down to furries. Thumbs down to furries. Burn all furries. What other fan base can I piss off? What Taylor Swift fans, thumbs down. They're all schizophrenics, and Taylor Swift is treated like a cult leader and a god, and it's bizarre as shit to watch. big words coming from a Kanye West fan that shows him like nothing else, big words. But Taylor Swift fans, thumbs down, thumbs down. What other like fan bases super like fucking strange online? You got uh any fan base where the demographic that enjoys it is very far removed from the demographic that it was made for tend to be really fucking weird. I mentioned this before when I said about, like kids TV shows and people like putting way too much energy and way too much like seriousness on them. Grown ass adults that are like, Adventure Time is the most philosophical thing I've ever watched. Get a life, like, dude, grow the fuck up. Um, Yeah, but oh man, what the fuck was I gonna say? I had a point to make off the back of that. I don't know why I did that because I didn't fucking think of it. Um, My Little Pony fans. That's what I was gonna talk about. I find that subgenre of person interesting. Now, the reason I find it interesting is because same thing with motherfucking Transformers, so on, so on, Lego Ninjago, all very, very autistic, all severely autistic. And this isn't something, no offense, whatever, like, I don't give a fuck. This is something that is, studied. A bizarre amount of people in Transformers happen to also have autism. Big, big overlap, the two circles. They're not even overlapping. They are the same circle. Everyone who's into Transformers probably is very autistic. Anyone who says that they love Bionicles or Transformers to you, autistic as fuck, bro. They're chill. They're probably the chillest autistic person you've ever met, but that doesn't stop the fact that they are severely autistic. Um, and it does make me wonder sometimes, like, what about these pieces of media calls upon autistic children to become just like lifelong fans? They dedicate their entire lives to these products. Uh, you know these people, you've seen them 100%. They just dedicate their entire life to like one thing, whether that be Transformers or like fucking, I don't know, doing the gritty or some shit. Um, but it makes me wonder, like, I mentioned this before when I was talking about like, to what level of addictiveness can something be before it is morally wrong? Like, if you could make a show that is objectively as addictive as cigarettes, like it's hard to put down in that sense. How bad is that? But also, people who are autistic, I think they have a higher disposition to addictions. They tend to struggle with addictions a lot more. Um, I do have to ask the question: is there just a chance that whatever it is about Transformers that, like, a candle to autistic people and just like, it attracts them like moths? Is there something baked into that idea that is just as addictive as like cigarettes to autistic people? Sonic the Hedgehog's a really good example of this. Everyone who's in Sonic the Hedgehog, autistic as fuck, dude. I'm telling you. You know, big up my guys. Big up my guys. But bro, like borderline Down syndrome, especially the Sonic fans, like borderline, like, frontal lobotomy, just removed, non-existent. Um, Weird ass people. I used to know somebody who was like obsessed with Sonic the Hedgehog, and they streamed their screen on Discord when they were going through their photo gallery one time, and a shitload of it turned out to be Sonic fucking dogs, which was a bit strange. You do watch that and you go, not really a good face for the entirety of the fandom there. Looking a bit strange, looking a bit, yikes. One of those things where you see that and you're like, yeah, your head's not really screwed on right, is it? Um, what else can I go for? Uh, but yeah, so like it makes me wonder, like, have they already min-maxed autistic people? Have they already got into autistic people's minds, and have they figured out what makes them do whatever they want? Like, you can control those people like a fucking book, just make the Transformers say whatever you want, boom. That is that is them. That is ingrained in their mind for the rest of their life. There is definitely some way you can turn Transformers into like a hypnosis show that will control every autistic person that watches it into doing exactly what you want. You just bake it into like the programming, the flashing lights, and whatever decision you want them to make, you can get them to make, whether it between Transformers, Sonic, fucking whatever. Five Nights at Freddy's, Five Nights at Freddy's, dude. Um, Probably also Peaky Blinders. You know, like I think Peaky Blinders, definitely the more low key form of autism, but like hella fucking linked, hella fucking linked. Every Peaky Blinders guy that I've ever known, severely autistic. You know, on the low key way though. I used to know this guy. I don't actually know if he'd ever watched Peaky Blinders, but he dressed like he was directly out of Peaky Blinders. Um, and just the strangest individual ever. He spent a shitload of his student loan on a stripper because the stripper convinced him that she loved him, and you know, who would have guessed she was lying? Crazy. But that was that was a very amusing thing to watch because like me and like a group of like six friends went out clubbing with this guy. I think every single time we went out clubbing with them, it kind of just became an exercise of who could stay away from this guy the most. Um, yeah, you know, just a bit strange. He became really gay one night, you know, not in a bad way, but big lad that I was trying to rizz up, he just, you know, came out of nowhere and became really, really into him, even, despite being the most homophobic guy I'd ever met. They went home together. I just assumed they went off and fucking shagged or something. Instead, he came back to our flat and started crying because the you know the guy that he went home with from a club, you know, the guy, it's not like they were snogging and shit. It seemed like they were gonna fuck. Got home, the other guy was like, "So are we doing it?" And he was like, "No, I'm straight, even though I've been snogging you all night." And the other guy was like, "That's a bit strange." And then he came back and was weirded out by it. It's like, bro, you were the one that was being weird in that scenario. He came out of a club one time crying because a girl rejects him. No offense, girl was low-key buzz. You know, the girl he was going after, low-key butters. And this guy has the audacity and the gall to come out of the club crying and then start talking about how gay people are stopping him from getting laid. Gay people are not stopping you from getting laid. You are just really ugly. I think is the best way to say it. You're also a midget, and I don't think that really helps. Maybe wear stilts or something. My heart really goes out for midgets. My heart really does go out for midgets. It must be a billion times harder to live your life if you're a midget, you know? Like genuinely, you get below like what heights? Like honestly, like 5'6". Below 5'6", your life must genuinely be miserable. Like imagine having to use a booster seat in your car just to drive it. Oh, dude, I would I would fucking hang myself. Like I would not stand for that shit. I mean, I couldn't stand for it. I'm only 5'6". Um, it does just make me wonder like how it is to live life as like a midget, you know? It must be a really odd one, honestly, because if you think about it, all distance is just longer for them. You know, like they walk, and that's kind of like a light jog for them. You know, you walk. Anyone above 6 foot just walks, and that's like a light jog for someone fucking 5 foot something. Um, the second you start running, that's them like fucking full on sprint. You know, they got to go as fast as they can. You know, all smoke to midgets, all smoke to midgets. Don't like midgets, don't like midgets, don't like what? How can I annoy as many people as possible? Don't like disabled people, don't like midgets, don't like you know, weird people. Uh, is it just me or but like wheelchair people kind of funny? Like there is just something really amusing about being in a wheelchair. You know, like obviously super tragic, but kind of amusing. You know, like damn, it's like you know, it's such a tough one. You shouldn't find it funny. You know, you really shouldn't find it funny that they're in a wheelchair, or they're like a nugget or something. But like, it's kind of funny, you know. I don't know how to describe it, but like, it's kind of in that realm of like, it's really really funny. I feel bad for laughing, you know. I feel bad for finding it amusing. Um, but you know, come on, man. Like, you're half a vehicle. You know, you're half a car. At that point, just put an engine in, just like drive around all over the place. I would have a fucking drift set up in my wheelchair if I became crippled. Um, I became Joe Swanson. You know. Uh, yeah. Why do you never see yeah, you know, like people without their arms, like they don't really get wheels. They're like the dogs, you know, the dogs, they get the front wheels so they can still walk around. You never really see them with wheels. Uh, yeah. You also don't see them with a lot of dogs, you know. You'd think if you're in a wheelchair, I'd probably like attach like 8 dogs to the front of me like a sleigh, you know, and just get them to pull me around all over the place. Just 'cause I think that'd be fucking awesome. That'd be kind of baller as hell. A ton of dogs. It'd be like I'm in the fucking Arctic, but I'm not. I'm just being ridden around like the middle of town with a ton of dogs. Also, who's gonna do anything to you? They're not gonna push you out the wheelchair. I got like 8 fucking huskies in front of me. They're gonna maul you to death, you know? Try me, dude. I'm all of a sudden dangerous even though I'm in a wheelchair, you know? I could have no arms. I could be a nugget and I'm still dangerous. Still, like, I'm still a threat because I've got like this pack of wild animals in front of me that will do whatever the fuck I say. Um, yeah. Yeah. What other disabilities are kind of funny, kind of amusing? I do think personally though, like the second bionic legs get to the point where like they're better than normal legs, I'm cutting my legs off immediately. Like we're already at the point where that like they're getting really good at making the legs. You know, they you see runners put down times where it's like disabled runners where they have the leg joint things at the bottom. They run quicker than actual runners. Like they don't compete in the same bracket because the disabled people are quicker than the actual runners with legs. You know, those like running legs they've got. Fucking crazy, dude. The second someone's like, yeah, get a pair of like mantis legs, you run like twice as fast. Of course I'm fucking taking that. Of course I'm chopping my legs off within a millisecond. Shotgun arm comes out, you know I'm chopping my whole forearm off. You know, I'm immediately getting that sucker fucking implanted. I don't give a shit if I don't get fingers. I got fucking double barrel, bang bang, fucking in my arm, you know? What are you gonna do? Say now. I think we're reaching that point though. I think we are like interestingly reaching that point where very quickly bionic limbs might become better than normal ones. You know, they're talking about doing like electronic nerves and shit, so like, you know, nerves that just immediately interface with like a fucking wire and I think once they've got that kind of stuff down, like that's the final interface. Like you know, we're already at the point where it's not a problem with getting the arm to do the thing. We can make an arm that is fully articulate with the strength of like a human arm and everything. The issue is getting it to interface with the human body and nervous system in a way that you can control it to such a degree. You know, if you had just a computer controlling the arm, you can get it to be incredibly detailed and intricate with its maneuvers. Um, it's just trying to get it to interface with a person that isn't the easiest. Um, and it makes me wonder, like, we're probably gonna cross that barrier soon, and like, I wonder what happens when we do cross that barrier. Because exactly what I just said, like, surely there's gonna be, you know, lists of people that are teamed up. The millisecond you get like a bionic spine, remove all back pain because you just get a metal fucking spine, never gonna wear out. You can't even feel it. It's metal, you know. Um, you know, it'll be interesting, you know, because I feel like with things like that, like those are game changing implants you can give to people. I mean, obviously, as I just said, like, you know, people with fucking severe back pain and like, you know, maybe people who are like paralyzed or something probably should be in line first to get you know, metallic spines and stuff. But dude, if I can cut that line, get in front of them, all those war vets, out my fucking way. Ah, I want the metal spine first, you know. I think I probably do. I think I probably do. It seems like an advantage in almost every way. Um, it makes you wonder, like, how much of your body would you replace? Because I think I'm kind of willing to go like full on 90% cyborg. You know, because I think about it and I'm like, robotic eyes probably better than my normal eyes. You know, robotic digestive system, even like if you go that crazy, probably going to be more efficient than my digestive system. Robotic arms probably better, you know, probably better legs, probably better XYZ. My penis, however, keeping that, you know, I'm more than willing to go like 99% robotic as long as my brain and my penis are still organic and human and, you know, function. I think I'm pretty chill becoming as cyborg as humanly possible. Like, even if it's one of those things where it's like it's not even attached all the time, like I fucking detach it and like I'm 100% robotic or some shit, and then like just whenever I need it, it's there. It's still organic. It's still my penis. I can just plug it back in, do the job. I think that would be sick. I'd pay money to do that. Um, it's why I can't imagine being like paraplegic or something. Like, dude, losing access to your penis. You see the little like the little guys walking around for like the motivational videos. I say walking around. They're not walking around. They don't have legs. But my heart really goes out for them, dude. Like, I'm living without a penis, like living without no legs is bad enough. Actually, I feel like living without your legs but having a penis would be even worse because you're kind of just bouncing around in your ball sack all the time, and that seems painful as fuck. You know, like that seems really uncomfortable. Like I think I'd be appreciative that I have a penis, but having to like jump on my ballsack every 2 seconds. Not the most pleasant. I think at that point I'd actually be begging that I didn't have my penis and I could just at least gain some semblance of mobility. Um, what else can I? On it, I've just went on a tirade about nuggets and disabled people. So I think it's probably fair game to end whatever rant this is here. Adios. I'll yap in the next video. I've yapped in this one. You know, big up my yappers that watch any of this shit. Yeah, and also think before you fucking comment. Like, I had some actual like brainlet idiots in a previous video who clearly watched like the first minute of one and then made a comment, a snide remark being like, "Oh, drama's just always been around." And it's like, bro, your fucking YouTube thing. First of all, you've only ever made 2 comments, and both of them are on my YouTube video, so you are a bot. Like, all of the shit that I talk about, but people being like gang stalkers and bots, you are one of them, motherfucker. Of course I'm going to clown on you in the replies. I'm not going to give you a serious reply because A, you're literally everything that I say is irredeemable and not worth my time talking to. And B, in your bio, you say you're fucking 16, and in that exact same video, I say that half the people you meet online are mentally disabled, or children, or bots. You fall into one of those 3 categories. No, I'm not going to give you a serious reply. What are you fucking idiotic for expecting that? Trying to come back and ask me to clarify? No, I'm not going to fucking clarify. You're a child. I'm not going to spend any more time talking to you online. Maybe watch the entire fucking video before you comment, and you would have seen the part where I go, if you're one of these 3 things, I'm not going to give a fuck and not going to reply to you seriously, and then reply expecting me to be serious. You're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. Anyway, signing off.